It's recording.
All right. Good evening. My name is Riley Harris. Now, before I start, I would like to introduce my audience. This here is Dylan Murphy. He ropes for the UPRA as an amateur and PRCA as a calf roper for the Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association. This here is John Solt. He ropes for the UPRA and CPRA at the amateur level as a team roper. This is Dakota Mendez. He rides bareback horses for the PRCA rodeo as a professional rodeo cowboy. Now, I'm Riley Harris. I rodeo amateur for the CPRA and professionally at the PRCA Rodeo Association. Now, to introduce, today what we're going to talk about is an argument that recently occurred between Sage Kimsey and Shane Hanshey. All right, and basically the argument was over whether or not, why there's more added money in the bull riding event rather than the calf roping event. Now, there's three really big topics that come up for this, and that's the number of entries, the slack order, and also the most popular event in rodeo. Now, that we're going to come back to later. We're going to start with the slack and number of entries. So, start with the number of entries. One of the biggest rodeos of the year is Cheyenne Frontier Days. And at Cheyenne, bull riding took a limited number of 96 entries. The calf roping had an unlimited number, so there as many calf ropers that wanted to enter it could enter it. But, alright, so they limit the bull riding numbers, so that's 96. Calf roping was unlimited, as many as they wanted to enter. So, both entries, we'll say, are $321, because that is your average number of entry fee at Cheyenne Frontier Days. So, at bull riding, $321, just your entry fee numbers, it totals to a grand total of $30,816. Calf roping with 204 entries is $65,484. Now, that's a margin of $34,668. So, the rodeo committees have to make up that difference by the added money. So there's one reason why the added money is more in the bull riding. They have to make up that difference because you're going to limit the number of bull riders so they can only have so much money entered. You have to fix that margin by adding more money. Also goes into that is the day money percentage. Alright, day money is basically, and it's not offered in all events, it's mainly just offered in the bull riding. But day money is everybody who's entered in the bull riding, say it's just bull riding, everybody who's entered in the bull riding that day is a percentage of their money. So say they put $100 in, let's say it's 10%. So $10 from every bull rider goes into the day money pot. Now, if you ride your bull, no matter what your score is, you go into it and they split that money equally. Now, we go on to the slack. Slack is it's basically opportunities to compete on your cattle, whether it's morning, night, early, evening, it doesn't matter. But it's only offered to timed events. Bull riding doesn't offer slack. That's another reason why you have to add more money in the bull riding, because bull riders don't have that opportunity. So bull riders can only compete during the performance at night. So a roper, say perhaps, he can enter, let's say Gladewater, Texas on a Friday night and still be out in Weatherford, Texas on Saturday morning. While the same, like say a bull rider wants to enter the same days, he has to enter Friday night and Saturday night at the same rodeos. Alright, so your calf roper can enter Friday night, Saturday morning, and he can go anywhere he wants Saturday night because he's free. So, that's the number of opportunities, and I quote from the Cowboy Journal for another reason for slack. Sage Kimsey from the Cowboy Journal says, and I quote, "A lot more contract personnel have to be there." What that means is that for the bull riding, you have to have flankmen, bullfighters, gatemen, guys working the back pens, and your bull riders. So there's at least 5 different types of people. For the roping events, you have to have a judge, a gateman, and your roper. That's about all it takes. So the rodeo committees have to have more people on the clock to work those events, in the bull riding at least. Also, and the third most important one, like I said earlier, it's the most popular event in rodeo. Bull riding is, And it's proven because bull riding has individually made a standalone event by itself, and that's the PBR. They have literally taken the branch of bull riding, which is an event from pro rodeo, and made it a sport of its own. So, also, and I quote, Mark Brandenburg from his article said that in bull riding, timed exposure assumed a normal distribution with means exposure duration of 80 seconds, a standard deviation of 33.94. Now that 33.94 is equivalent to the 1.0 of roping. So what that means is that bull riders are equivalently exposed to danger 33 more times than ropers. So that goes back into the most popular event. It's a topic no one will let's talk about. Bull riding is more dangerous. It's literally, as Mark Brandenburg said, 33 more times exposed to danger. So bull riders are putting themselves at risk 33 more times than ropers. So it's difficult. But what it's basically saying is that why would a bull rider enter this rodeo for the same amount of money as a calf roper whenever he's putting himself in 33 more times the danger? And that's basically what it's getting at. So, excuse me, to sum everything up, you got 3 reasons to why bull riding has more added money. And you go back to the number of entries, because the more entries you have, the more money that the actual contestants are putting into the pot. So then you go into compare calf roping, as Shane Hansey would do, to bull riding, as Sage Kimsey would do. Before the added money, calf ropers have, and as I said in the first article, over $34,000 put into it. So you have the number of entries, slack, which allows them to compete in more different times and also enter more rodeos. And then you have the most popular event in rodeo, which is what all the fans want to come to see, which brings the rodeo committees more money overall. Thank you. My name is Riley Harris, and thanks for tuning in.